Hello and welcome to Future Tech, a programme from London Tech Week and ITM Productions. The technology sector is one of the fastest growing sectors, and it faced some huge challenges as the world went remote during the pandemic. In this programme, we'll be exploring how technology has supported, evolved and thrived, how the workforce has adapted and continues to grow, and the future of the technology landscape. Digital technology has seen a boom in recent years, creating jobs and investment. London Tech Week is an annual event which supports the sector and encourages growth by connecting global leaders and businesses. We went to find out more.
It's an event which brings together thousands from within the industry. London Tech Week provides a crucial opportunity for academics, leaders and innovators to debate, celebrate and exchange ideas which can help shape the future.
I think the UK is an incredibly vibrant ecosystem for technology. Ultimately, I think we have the capability to be the world leaders. And London Tech Week is a really, really important convening platform to bring everyone together.
London Tech Week, it's about collaboration, it's about inspiring, learning, connecting. So we hope to be able to do that in a way that people can engage from different parts of the world.
London Tech Week is an important week because it's our opportunity in London to showcase to the world what is happening in our tech sector, to showcase the great leaders, the great startups, the unicorns.
It is now the 8th year of London Tech Week, and the event has prided itself on being bigger and bolder each time. And with record levels of investment into the UK tech sector, there's a sense the industry here could be on the verge of something special.
There's a real momentum building, and we're witnessing tech scale-ups are driving growth, phenomenal growth. They're attracting record levels of investment. 15 billion last year, which was up on the year before.
I think the most exciting thing for me about UK tech is we're basically on the threshold of being what I describe as that third world leading tech ecosystem. We can connect people to the US and to China, but we can also demonstrate that we're building such great tech capabilities here. World-leading fintech businesses, world-leading health tech and ed tech and AI businesses all coming together in London and across the UK. That to me is something that's immensely powerful.
To maximise future opportunities, a thriving workforce is essential. It does already exist, but with many vacancies in the UK tech sector, there's an acknowledgement of a digital skills gap and work going on to help address the issue.
Nearly half of all organisations that we talk to are actively recruiting. So it is a real problem that we do need to absolutely address.
But it's an opportunity too.
It's a real opportunity, yes. I think if we think now post-pandemic, the amount of opportunity to both reskill as well as introduce or make more effort, even from really very early age, to, I think, promote STEM subjects to school children.
There's initiatives like Digital Boost, where lots of these big organisations are providing free mentoring to help upskill the current workforce. And then there's a real emphasis on school students and university students to make sure that we can really empower them, to inspire them to think about tech roles in the future.
Those at London Tech Week have seen great progress made in the UK tech sector over recent years and are now very keen to seize on future opportunities.
What excites me at the moment here in the UK for the tech sector is the growth that we've seen, particularly over the last 12 months.
I think the opportunities are endless. We have a perfect ecosystem with really good academic institutions, government that is very, very supportive of the sector, investment and plenty of investment growth coming in both nationally and internationally, and also really strong corporations that are interested in partnering and helping fuel ideas and the future creative economy. So that really gives us all the ingredients for the UK just really to accelerate its growth.
Those ingredients can provide a recipe for future success. Building on recent progress that's been made over recent years, to provide a platform for the UK tech sector to further strengthen its position in the global market over the years ahead.
Emerging technology is changing the face of business today. New research conducted by Omdia is helping to shape the technology ecosystem. I'm joined now by Bill Morelli, Chief Research Officer at Omdia. Welcome, Bill. What topics are you looking forward to hearing about at London Tech Week?
What I'm looking forward to in particular include events like the Global Leaders Innovation Summit, where we'll be discussing issues like how technology can help us emerge from and drive economic recovery. We'll also be looking at topics like how businesses can use scale technologies to help businesses become more agile. In addition to that, we have some exciting sessions with things like the AI Summit and 5G World. Beyond that, then we have events on future of work and future of ed tech. And then finally, we have some programming that is more social in nature, looking at the Accelerate Her and Black Women in Tech sessions that are going to be running. And those are really spotlighting some of the top women and technology leaders that are driving and championing inclusion in both tech and business.
So what are the emerging technologies that will come to the fore in the next few years?
Excellent question. And here at Omdia, we are just working on our annual Horizons report. And what's coming out of this year's study is that 5G continues to be one of the technologies that is really ready to make a broader impact. Beyond that, cloud continues to be a hot topic, not just as we've been using it, for remote storage and for universal access to data, but now it's starting to evolve into a multi-cloud computing conversation. And then third on the list is AI. And AI, really, we've seen tremendous growth and interest in the last few years. We're now at a point where businesses are able to start moving beyond kind of the test phase with their AI deployments, and they're looking at how to take those AI solutions and scale them for the full business and to help enable future growth.
So what is happening within the UK market, and what are the specific technology challenges faced by businesses?
As we are focused on the recovery period and economic recovery, how technology can be used to help drive that and move things forward, accelerate the pace of that change. I think for the UK, it's very much the same discussion, looking at how technology can not only help with existing projects and jobs, but help create new opportunities and drive new industries. And for the UK, that's particularly important.
AI and 5G are two of the leading emerging technologies globally. How do you think the UK fares in its adoption of this technology in comparison with the rest of the world?
UK is actually leading, one of the leading countries in the world in terms of attracting venture capital dollars for AI-related startups. There's over 1,500 AI-related startups in the UK at the moment. That puts it second only to the US in terms of investment and attracting those dollars. The reason that's important is because now you have local companies that are developing cutting-edge AI tools and resources that then can be leveraged by the global community. And I think that certainly puts the UK at the forefront of that conversation. In terms of adoption, it's a little bit slower. This is still an emerging technology, and if we look at 5G as a technology, the UK is a bit ahead of other Western European countries in terms of deployment, but it's lagging behind a little bit some of the larger players like the US or China in terms of overall adoption.
So what are the opportunities for businesses as emerging technologies become more mainstream?
I think one of the key things for businesses is to really look at training around the new technologies and the emerging technologies. There's a tremendous number of tools that are now available, looking at things like automation, low-code and no-code programming to help automate tasks and to help create new tools for doing tasks. But at the heart of that is really using technology to train the workforce about the technology. And increasingly, this next generation of workers, of employees, are looking for companies that are willing to make that investment and utilizing the latest tools around technology to help grow and develop the workforce. So it's an opportunity to come in and learn and develop as you go. In addition to that, they're looking for companies that are taking a forward-looking position on sustainability, which technology is taking a very forward position on how companies can be more sustainable, be more conscious, and be more inclusive.
Such great insight from you, Bill. Thanks so much for joining us. Bill Morelli from Omdia. Thank you. The COVID-19 pandemic has seen thousands of people admitted to hospital, but smartphone technology, dubbed a hospital at home by Humour, has allowed clinicians to monitor patients at home, freeing up beds and reducing transmission. Now, with millions of patients on waiting list backlogs, the same technology is reassuring many other patients that clinicians are closely monitoring their conditions at home. Donna Bernard reports on how digital technology is transforming medicine.
As the number of patients in hospital threatened to overwhelm the NHS during the pandemic, some of them were able to remain at home thanks to a remote monitoring system created in conjunction with the digital health company Humour.
When you look at this technology and you see how it works, you can really understand the reassurance it gives both patients and clinicians. Patients know they're being closely monitored at home, while clinicians can get help to their patients quickly if they see signs of deterioration.
So it's an app on the phone. From the patient perspective, what they do is 3 times a day, they put in their temperature, their heart rate, their oxygen levels with the probe that we give them, and they have a space to write how they're feeling once a day as well. And then we have a dashboard in our clinic where we're constantly monitoring all the patients. And if anyone is deteriorating from their symptoms, or their temperature or their heart rate goes up or their oxygen levels drop, it immediately flags up on the system. And the patient gets a call from a GP within 10 minutes.
I became ill quite quickly. 3 times a day I was putting in my oxygen saturations, my temperature, my symptoms. And to know that somebody was looking at those 3 times a day was really reassuring.
The benefits of the Humour app go beyond COVID. The data gathered is being used to power research into other diseases, manage patients with a range of long-term conditions, and also help tackle the growing waiting list backlog. Those whose data indicate they're deteriorating quickly can be successfully prioritised for treatment. It can also empower patients to manage their own health with support from their care team, whether it's preoperative advice or just learning how to eat more healthily.
So the technology is effectively a management system devised between the clinician and the patient.
Anybody who's involved in the care of that patient have access to a web-based dashboard where all the data that is being submitted by the patient, either passively or actively, is visualized in real time for the clinical team to review.
This hospital-at-home technology has the potential to change the whole landscape of healthcare.
If you look at past 2-3 years, from the works that we have done across different nations at largest scale possible, and some of the other players in the market that they have done, we think it has set a tone that going forward, digital is the #1 most important in agenda within anyone driving healthcare or research.
I've already had feedback from a patient saying that it's the most valuable app he's got on the phone at the moment.
Cardiac nurse Vicky Jenkins is leading a trial with Humour, monitoring heart patients, and is thrilled with how easy the app is to use.
It's quicker and easier and more informative than a 10-minute phone call to look within a couple of minutes on the data on the platform.
Diabetes care is one of the biggest costs to the NHS, and here too Humour's app is changing the way patients can manage themselves as part of a North London pilot called Discover Now.
So we're seeing people using the technology on a daily basis, uploading their things like blood pressure, their blood glucose levels, photos of their food, their well-being scores and so on. So yes, it's been very well accepted.
You just need a phone, a connectivity, and an app. And the good things about technology is as scalable as you want. You can have 1 billion people on it and still not cost you much per capita.
The digital skills gap is becoming a crisis, and a lack of skills has the potential to severely dent the bottom line of companies of all sizes and sectors. And Digital is aiming to bridge that gap by teaching people the skills they need to progress in a digital-first world. I'm joined now by And Digital's Chief for Consulting, Stephen Patterson. Stephen, thanks for joining us on the programme. There's a huge gap in the market right now for digital skills, isn't there?
There is, and it's something that isn't getting any better really with time. That skills gap prevails up and down the country in the UK. It prevails globally. We're all about as a company about how do we address that? How do we help close that gap?
So what are the disadvantages to a business when this skills set is missing?
The largest disadvantage really is about how do they serve as a business, whatever their customer might be, whether it's a business customer or whether it's an end consumer. How do they really serve their customers better through digital channels? So it is all about making sure that pace of change, of features, of functionality, of capability that enables transactions to process digitally. If you can't do that, and you can't do that quickly, organisations will lose out.
So some considerable disadvantages. What solutions then are And Digital providing for businesses?
Yeah, so as And, we're really focused on how do we help organisations digitally transform, and digitally transformation for us is about, we refer to it in 3 different ways. It's about guiding organisations through that journey, through becoming a better digital business. It's about building digital, so building websites, building apps, and actually really creating that experience for companies and their customers that takes them to that next level. But really, really importantly, and this is, I think, the part that makes us very different, it's about equipping organisations with the skills, with the knowledge, with the know-how, and with the skills to be able to do all of this themselves. Who better to own digital, to know their customer, to know their business, to know how to really grow successfully than the organisations themselves.
Right, so having the right people with the right skills in the workplace. So what training do you provide?
Yeah, I mean, training's an interesting word, right? It's, for us, we use the word sort of equip or upskill, mentor, coach. It's all of those things really combined. When we bring people into And Digital, so hire our own people, we start with what we refer to as a boot camp. And that is all about how do we help them be better delivery consultants working with businesses that really can build better digital. And actually, when we look at how we do that for our own people, we do the same thing for our clients. So for the companies that we work with, so that when they're looking to onboard new people into their teams, we help them with that onboarding approach. The type of training, we have something we refer to as our digital academy. And in addition to that sort of kickstart, there are individual interventions or specific nuances that we think actually organisations would really benefit from knowing.
So what would you say then to a business that is looking to develop better digital capabilities but doesn't know where to start?
The most successful start with that digital strategy piece. So what does that look like for them? What is the proposition that they're going to offer for their customers, for their consumers, for their market that sets them aside and distinguishes them from their competition? By 2025, we're looking to upskill at least 200,000 people. Those organizations that recognize that need to upskill in digital and close that digital skills gap by not just thinking about, their team or their part of the business in which they operate, but that broader digital skills gap are likely to be the ones that are more successful.
Stephen Patterson from And Digital, thank you.
Thank you.
Stem cell therapy can bring great benefits for its patients, offering minimal risk and recovery time. Bitbio is focused on revolutionising this treatment by creating cell therapies that can treat almost any human disease. Carolyn Sim reports.
Inside these incubators are the building blocks of life, millions of stem cells created not from embryos but from human hair and tissue. And now technology developed by scientists at Bitbio has unleashed the potential to transform these cells into any other kind of human cell, and fast.
Bitbio has the potential to revolutionize medicine. In order to go from a stem cell to the cell type that we want to generate, we are instructing the cell at the RNA or DNA level to turn on a new program, and then that changes the physical reality of the cell. So it's very different from what traditional stem cell biologists have done. Because it's an engineering approach to biology, we have a lot more control, which makes it much more robust.
The ability to produce any kind of human cell on an industrial scale and at speed has huge implications for cell therapies, drug discovery and research. CAR T-cell therapy is already showing promising results, but it's expensive and limited in its availability because you need cells from a patient or donor. Bitbio could change that.
If we can generate at scale those cells outside of the human body, then we get rid of that limitation of their availability, we get rid of the limitation of the cost. So cell therapy is definitely the area that we hope to sort of revolutionize with this technology.
As well as cell therapies, Bitbio's cells could help transform how drugs are developed. It's well known that only 2 to 3% of new medicines make it past clinical trials and onto pharmacy shelves. But the use of human cells rather than mice could improve that.
The way to fix it is to take the cell that's actually affected by a condition, like a brain cell from a human being that actually suffers from Alzheimer, rather than a mouse that you have engineered because the mouse actually doesn't get Alzheimer and you've put something into the mouse that looks like Alzheimer. And we feel that even the smallest, most conservative estimate of, the impact that the use of human cells could be, which is potentially doubling the chances, has a tremendous chance of improving success rates and lowering the costs.
The Cambridge-based company currently has 2 products on the market, brain and muscle cells. Its goal is to make every cell type in the human body. Its breakthrough technology, Optiox, engineers genetic code into the DNA of stem cells, which is then switched on to reprogram each cell with a consistency and speed not possible before.
By using our technology, we can generate cells within 8 to 14 days. With the stem cells, we can put our proteins in, switch on that genetic switch that converts them. We can multiply those stem cells up to millions or billions of cells before we switch them on into the final cell type. And that provides us just with a bank of cells that we can constantly pull from that are the same.
Scientists here use machine learning to help them work out complicated connections in the genes of cells and what the codes are that govern a cell's identity.
This complexity of this problem is where machine learning can actually have a huge impact, because a lot of the data that we have for this is indirect data, it's indirect evidence. We don't really know which gene is doing exactly what, but we can measure the outcomes. And we can measure the outcomes in a lot of different cells. We can do that in millions of cells, and then really get this data, correlate the data, and run it through machine learning algorithms and try and find out what is cause and effect and what are the drivers in this process, really.
The company also benefits from research in the wider scientific community.
There's ongoing efforts to really sequence all the different cells in the body on a tissue level as well as on a single cell level. So there's the Human Cell Atlas and really initiatives like this that really provide us with really a great source of data.
Bitbio believes its use of synthetic biology has real value.
It enables a new era of medicines, but it also provides drug discovery and development and researchers with a set of tools that they've never had before. And so I'm very excited about this.
Businesses up and down the country are continually changing, adapting and evolving, especially since the start of the pandemic. The Access Group provides business management software which allows organisations to work more efficiently and increase productivity, freeing up employees to spend time on the things that really matter. I'm joined now by Andrea Dunlop, Managing Director of Access Payments. A big welcome to you, Andrea. Why is technology so important in business today?
Well, technology is key. It helps businesses work much faster, much more efficiently, and ultimately provide better service to their customers. So it's key in all aspects of everything that we do.
Tell me a little bit about the Access Group, who you are and what you do.
So we're a leading provider of business management software, and I think one of the things that makes us really unique is the breadth of verticals that we actually support. So, everything from not-for-profit, recruitment, education, hospitality, health and social care, construction, legal, finance. I'm probably actually missing a few, and obviously the area that I lead on, payments. And we've been able to do that really successfully, mainly due to the fact that we've brought in incredibly experienced, seasoned leaders from these sectors. So we've been able to develop really deep domain expertise that has not only helped us be really successful, but has really helped our customers.
So what is Access Workspace?
So Access Workspace is a digital workplace. We spent a lot of time listening to our customers, and there was consistent feedback. Everyone was looking for a single view of their organisation. What we've been able to do is create a simple and accessible way of organisations being able to join the dots within their company. If you're an owner or a manager of a hospitality business, to be able to come in and have a single view of what's going on. So your staff rosters, the levels of your stock, what are your most popular meals and drinks, your health and safety records. So this frees them up. It will give them time back so they can focus on their core business and their customers.
What would you say are the key benefits to a business in using Access Workspace, and how has COVID accelerated the use of the technology?
So I think the key benefits are that, it's really using the workspace environment, how customers want to work. And I think that's where we feel that software design is now going. It's much more focused around how customers want to work, not in the old way of working where software was designed and customers had to then work their processes around those solutions. Those days are really gone now. And I think when we look at what's gone on in the pandemic, it's accelerated how people want to work and how customers, want to be treated and what type of service they want. So that is very much built into the software design that we do these days.
Yes, so I suppose people don't want a square peg in a round hole anymore. It's very much user focused. So is this the future then, working this way?
And I think the next layer of innovation that you're going to see is more around the predictive aspect. So when that data is surfaced up, helping managers and individuals who are given that data with predictive next step actions. So I think they're the next level, and they're certainly the areas that we're focused on as a company.
Oh, such great insight, Andrea. Thanks so much for speaking to us. Andrea Dunlop.
Thank you.
Surgical video analysis has been shown to improve surgeon performance, and Touch Surgery Enterprise from Medtronic now makes it easy to record, analyse and uncover new insights. We report on how digital surgery is transforming the operating room.
Scalpel, forceps, scissors and app, please. Vital tools for surgeons now include the technology to upload AI-assisted video of their operations and to train using the interactive Touch Surgery app from Medtronic. The company's Touch Surgery Enterprise platform enables surgeons to share their work, improving training and performance. Hansel Dunlop works at the digital surgery division of Medtronic's surgical robotics business. He says touch surgery is about unlocking the power of surgical video.
We have a deep understanding of surgery, and that's what we're bringing together here. We're bringing together people who have an excellent understanding of the actual medical processes and a highly competent technical team to deliver something amazing. Touch Surgery Enterprise goes into the operating room. We record surgeries, store them, process them, pull out analytics, and also give that information back to the surgical team who can make the most of it, basically.
The academically validated free touch surgery app gives remote access to more than 200 surgical simulations in 18 specialties with the help of computer-generated imagery, CGI. With learn and test modes, trainees can gain CPD points. This former scrub nurse says working at Medtronic on this app brings together his love of medicine and technology.
We can click on the learn mode, and then as we scroll through, then you can see that the view changes from the CGI, it goes into the actual surgical video. And the surgical video has been broken down into steps by our studio team. The power of the CGI is to enhance the experience.
The touch surgery app allows surgeons to prepare for trickier operations, going in combat ready, says this consultant.
I try to familiarise myself with operations before going in, and I find the touch surgery app very user-friendly because it's on my smartphone, and I can also interact with my juniors and also medical students before going in. It means that we can engage better during surgery, and people are already familiar with certain fundamentals of the operation. And in my opinion, I think it enhances my teaching.
As a medical student, perhaps an aspiring surgeon, there are the traditional ways of learning your craft. There are, of course, the fun ways too, but now there is the pro in your pocket, a medical school at your fingertips that's powered by AI.
This one box captures in real time the surgical video feed from the laparoscopic cameras. At the end of the procedure, this video is automatically uploaded to our TS Enterprise solution, and it's also able to run other new AI algorithms in real time that are able to extract information from the video.
This all takes teamwork, a wide range of skill sets tackling innovative problems.
We all come together and we build these products which are so important to our users, and that really gives me the satisfaction that and a sense of accomplishment that I have for my job.
We're actually delivering something that's really, really important and also solving problems that nobody's ever solved before.
Touch Surgery provides support and solutions to surgeons by giving them a consumer-level experience via their phone, sharing best practice with a global reach.
The pandemic brought with it a global change in employment trends, with more people working remotely than ever before. WorkMotion, an HR platform, helps companies source the best talent on a global scale. I'm joined by Managing Director and co-founder of WorkMotion, Carsten Liebtig. Carsten, thanks so much for joining us. This pandemic has created a whole new way of working across the globe, hasn't it?
Yes, first of all, thanks for having me here, Selina, and absolutely true, right? So when the first lockdown hit us, so everybody, both employees and employers, had to go through a very, very steep learning curve. We were all forced to go from one day to another, to essentially grab our laptops and work from home. And what we've learned is that this type of work, actually does work very well, thanks to technology.
Yeah, I mean, there were challenges, but also lots of advantages. What are the main benefits, would you say, to a business of being able to recruit globally?
There's a war for talent going on, so it's becoming harder and harder to find the right talent locally. And I think what we learned through the pandemic is, number one, remote work works. If you think about it, if a knowledge worker doesn't have to sit in the same city anymore, like this person can sit literally anywhere else in the world. And this opens really up a whole new set of opportunities when you can access the global sourcing and recruiting pool.
So how does WorkMotion use technology to enable businesses to recruit the best talent in an efficient way?
Well, we have built an HR tech platform that literally sits on top of a global infrastructure of legal entities. So we have companies in more than 160 countries right now, and we aggregate them and we give access to this network of legal entities to our clients. What does it mean for them? If they find someone they want to hire, let's assume in Portugal, for example, they just go into the software, they choose Portugal as the country, and then our software guides them through like an entire onboarding process for this talent.
So just explain to me more about your global reach and how you achieve compliance on a local scale.
Well, we have built in record time a global infrastructure of legal entities by partnering up with local companies. So those are typically like local compliance partners or agencies that are in the business of employee leasing for years, sometimes even decades. And they do have their local networks of compliance partners, such as accounting firms and law firms. So essentially what we did is we aggregated them under the umbrella of WorkMotion. Right now, we are in a very interesting phase because we are starting to see like very specific concentrations in some of our countries that we are offering. For example, in the UK, Spain, Poland, India, and many more countries. And we are building our own WorkMotion legal entities in those countries.
You say the future of work brings challenges. What does the future hold for global employment trends?
We believe that going forward, temporary flexible work will be like the new benefit for employers to be really attractive as an employer. So let me give you maybe like a quick example. Let's assume someone has a local employment contract, for example, with a German company in Germany, and this person wants to go on a vacation and then work from there for a couple of weeks, maybe out of France. So this is actually a big compliance issue because it's not that simple. It touches permanent establishment risk, labor law, and many other risks. And we believe that this needs to be solved, and that's what we are doing right now. So we are building new products that are accessible through our technology platform, and that will offer temporary flexible work for both employees and employers going forward.
We all want greater flexibility. Great to chat to you, Carsten. Thanks so much for joining us. Carsten Liebtig of WorkMotion. Thank you.
Thanks.
The world is now more digitally connected than ever before, and behind this is a reliance on constant technological innovation. Mavenir is one of the companies at the forefront of this change. It's helping the world to keep up by developing and supplying cloud-native software that transforms the way the world connects. Our reporter Sue Saville went to find out more.
Working on wind farms miles offshore for weeks at a time doesn't mean being out of touch. Technology can now take the office out to sea, keeping staff connected with colleagues and loved ones. How? By using cloud-native mobile telecommunications, in this case powered by tech pioneers Mavenir. The company prides itself on being the industry's only end-to-end cloud-native network software provider that runs on any cloud, public or private. Moving radio access network software with virtualization onto the cloud is in Mavenir's DNA, says CMO Stefano Cantarelli.
Our vision really is a single network, software-based for automations that really change the way networks are done today. We really think that in the future, the network of the future are actually built on cloud, and they need to be convergent, and they're all software-based. That's why we come with this little slogan in Mavenir, which is really our vision, which is one network, any cloud, all software. Mavenir has been working very closely with the UK government to push on the openness. Specifically, there is a topic which is very well known these days, which is called Open Run. And here is a perfect example on when innovation actually kicks in, because you have the opportunity to bring more people at the table to discuss about the supply of a mobile network.
Transformation for the new 5G network requires a fresh mindset, say the team at Mavenir. The company has seen significant growth through virtualization of the core network and services, and now with the adoption of open radio access networks around the world.
The company has grown, and that growth has been fueled by the benefits we brought to the market, especially to the carrier sector, which have seen more efficient platforms, and ultimately that they benefited their subscriber more. Openness means a larger ecosystem of suppliers, means the ability for carriers to choose best of breed solutions, so they can then offer the best services that possibly can with that technology at that moment in time, with a cost-efficient operation, with a lower cost of capital-intensive programs, reducing also the operating expenditure and many other benefits.
The ease of deployment of Open RAN system to locations like wind farms has created new business opportunities for those working with Mavenir, like wireless consultancy and system integrator Villicom.
We have clients who use the connectivity to help protect lone workers. They wear devices. If they have an accident or, an incident, they can get help. We have clients who are using it to do video analytics, augmented reality, all sorts of things like that. Industrial communications and manufacturing, the machines starting to communicate. Some people are calling that the fourth industrial revolution, the industrial internet. So oftentimes we go in for one reason, but then the innovation gets layered up on top of that connectivity. And it's very exciting.
Mavenir have been working with Sonic Labs, part of government-backed Digital Catapult, which provides a neutral space for innovators to test their kit and compatibility to build a more diverse supply chain for the UK's 5G network. A feature enabling visitors to time travel to Roman baths sets a new digital standard.
This very interactive use case is now running over our 5G standalone network hosted by Mavenir.
There is a need to drive more innovation into the telecoms ecosystem, and there's new technology, new standards to do that. Open networks, we believe, is the way to do it, and that's where Mavenir have been working with us on this, and they've been very supportive of this.
By enabling service providers and firms to embrace applications running on virtualized platforms, Mavenir aims to support a digitally powered economic recovery with mobile networks.
Communication has become more relevant than ever over the past year. We visited Mitel, who power more than 2 billion business connections, to talk about how their cloud enterprise and next-gen collaboration applications are helping businesses to adapt, innovate and thrive as we emerge from the pandemic.
Technology has transformed our personal and work lives. More and more of us are buying, messaging and working through our smartphones and laptops. The pandemic has forced businesses to adapt digitally, fast. But to thrive in the future, technology needs to be intelligent and emotional for both customers and employees.
Customer experience is now the currency for success. When we're in a world where you can hop between service providers so quickly, when you can change your choices daily if you choose to, then your ability to really connect with your customers is so important. And the quality of every interaction really matters.
At Mitel, we are powering connections.
Mitel is a global market leader in business communications, specialising in technology to help customers contact a business through web chats, virtual assistants to video calls. It collaborates with technology partners covering many industries. One of their platinum partners is Britannic.
We're able to provide an excellence service to our customers, and when we need it, Mitel are always there. They're there to help us look at designs, innovation and best practice.
Britannic's clients include Marker Study, one of the UK's top motor insurance companies.
Mitel offer a toolbox of technology, and Britannic have the expertise to help us select the right technology to solve the problems that we're trying to solve.
The relationship between all three businesses began in 2010. In that time, Marker Study has gone from 500 staff to 5,000.
The service initially was predominantly contact centre based, so it was phone, whereas now we're multi-channel, interacting with websites. The more routine tasks we can automate, so that takes the burden off of our staff, and it means that they can concentrate on providing, meaningful interactions with our customers.
So we have businesses now that understand that every interaction has got the need for an exceptional customer experience, be that with a colleague, with a partner, or with a customer. And so empowering internal staff with exactly the same tools as traditionally we only invested in customer interactions is enabling companies to be much bolder, much more imaginative, and also much more productive and innovative than ever before.
Cloud technology is at the heart of this transformation, helping businesses become more agile and grow. Over the last decade, Marcus Study has grown with over 30 companies in the group.
A very aggressive acquisition program that they undertook, acquiring over 30 organisations. Of course, what we needed to do was to work together to be able to support the scaling of this at a very fast pace. High demand, high need, and together, looking at the design, looking at the approach, working pragmatically across the team, we were able to support it without having issue for the organisation.
So most recently, we acquired the Co-op insurance, so 1,500 staff. Really, we were able to onboard all of those million plus customers and over 1,000 staff, and literally it was seamless.
The pandemic led to remote working practically overnight.
Testament to the platform, we were able to get everyone working from home within a week, whereas we know some of our competitors actually it took them like 6 months to get into the same position.
This new way of working also requires emotional support for staff. Richard wears a black dog badge to raise awareness of depression, something he lives with.
It's an ever-challenging battle. It's something that won't go away tomorrow, and it is something that isn't fixed by technology, but it can be enabled. The treatment can be enabled, the engagement can be enabled, a sense of belonging can be accelerated by the successful deployment of the right technology.
People want businesses to use technology that is similar to how they chat and message friends and family, and it's ever-changing.
There will be technologies that people will be using that don't currently exist today that we'll need to embrace. And working with Mitel, we've been able to integrate those new channels, those new technologies in, so we can keep taking our customers forward.
Thank you for watching Future Tech. We hope you enjoyed this programme. All of our reports are available to view on the London Tech Week website. The details are on screen now. From me and the team here, thank you for watching. Goodbye.